and welcome to Technology Tap. I'm Professor JRod. In this episode, our second episode of our summer series. Let's get into it. All right, welcome back to Technology Tap. I'm Professor JRod. For those who don't know me, my name is Professor JRod, and I'm Professor of Cybersecurity. And I've been doing this podcast, I don't know, almost going on 4 years. And for this summer, usually I don't really do a lot during the summer as far as podcasting. But I did something interesting happened when I was working on my dissertation. I met someone who agreed to help me with the survey. He participated in the survey when I was doing my research. And one of the things that he told me is that he has his students, instead of doing a presentation, he has them do a podcast of whatever research he asked them to do. So I thought this was a great idea, and I gave my students the option of making their PowerPoint presentation into a podcast. So this series is based on that. And so in this episode, we are going to listen to Michelle, Wesley, and Oksana, and they're going to talk about the hack of the Office of Personnel Management breach, which personally affected Michelle. Michelle is former Navy personnel, and we thank you for your service. So she was actually affected by that. So it's an interesting topic because it personally affects her. So you let me know, listen to it. Let me know what you guys think about the summer series. Hopefully you like it. Hopefully you're listening to it. All right, let's take it away.
Welcome, listeners, to Unveiling the OPM Breach, a timeline of intrusion. In late 2013, the Office of Personnel Management, also known as OPM, experienced a significant cybersecurity breach that reverberated through government and contracted networks. What was the breach? Hackers gained unauthorized access to OPM's networks, acquiring valuable IT system manuals in late 2013. These manuals provided insights into OPM's network architecture, potentially facilitating future cyber attacks. The OPM cyber incident highlighted vulnerabilities in government cybersecurity practices and the need for enhanced data protection measures. It underscored the importance of proactive threat detection and response strategies to mitigate the risk of future breaches. Joining me are Oksana and Wes.
Yeah, thank you, Michelle. The breaches exposed sensitive information about federal employees and security clearance data. This compromised data led to a public announcement of the breaches in June 2015, raising concerns about the security of government personal information.
Wow, so yeah, June 2015, listeners, keep that date in mind. So hackers first breached the OPM and two contractors, USIS and Keypoint Government Solutions, in late 2013 and early 2014. The breaches remained undetected for months, allowing intruders to access sensitive information. The breaches escalated over time, culminating in the public announcement, as Oksana had mentioned, in public announcement of the breaches, the data breaches in June of 2015. So imagine you're talking about the public announcement being nearly a year and a half later. Further investigations in May and June of 2015 revealed the extent of the breach, affecting millions of federal employees and exposing security clearance data. The breaches highlighted vulnerabilities in government cybersecurity practices and emphasized the need for enhanced data protection measures. All of this led to the OPM Director, Katherine Archuleta, to resign in the wake of the data breaches.
Mm-mm-mm.
She was under fire essentially since the revelations that millions of people's personnel data was compromised by hackers. And she actually, submitted her resignation on a Friday morning, and the president accepted it. So just keep in mind that timeline, right? So the whole thing happened, began in November of 2013, and here it is, July of 2015. The director is essentially forced to resign because that's how government works, right?
Mm-hmm.
You resign because they give you a deal. It's like they make you an offer you can't refuse.
Can refuse.
So it's either you resign and we'll part ways amicably, or you're getting fired, and then you're never going to work again in any sort of industry. So that's essentially what happened. And the reason that she was essentially let go / resigned is because she halted a lot of the investigations into this and delayed a lot of information from going out to the public.
So the breaches exposed sensitive information about federal employees and security clearance data. This compromised the data led to a announcement of the breaches in June of 2015. Again, we have to reiterate, this all started in November of 2013. And we started seeing movement a year to 2 years later, raising concerns about the security of government personnel information. 1 year after the OPM data breach, what has the government learned? So, a reporter by the name of Brian Naylor reported during the week that marked a year since the government first revealed that hackers had stolen personal files of some 4 million current and former federal employees. About 1 month later, that number grew to more than 20 million people, including contractors, family members, and others who had undergone background checks for federal employees.
Fishy. So you mean to tell me it went from 4 million and a month later, another 16 plus million?
Yeah.
I think that number, that sounds fishy to me, right? What do you guys think?
Have you been compromised?
Thank you, Oksana. Actually, I was compromised. I found out that my information was part of the leak from OPM. And to this day, I'm still receiving alerts that either my email, my phone number, my social security, it's out there. The numbers have grown immensely throughout the years. Back in 2018, I received 3 notifications. In 2019, I received 8 notifications. 2020, 7. 2021, 8. 2022, which is just 2 years ago, I received 10 notifications. Last year, I received 14. And we're now in May, and I've already received 4 notifications.
You're telling me you're getting notifications from an 11-year-old breach.
Yes. And what's funny is in the beginning, they only discussed 2 subcontractors that were breached, but within the years, I guess all of my information has leaked into other places like staffing agencies. I've applied for a lot of companies, and my data has been leaked, like in things like in USA Staffing, wherever I got my fingerprints done. Also, my data was leaked, and it's not only mine, but it's also my family members. So I have 2 children and my husband, and all of our data has been leaked.
Well, that kind of makes sense to 20 million plus people, right? But the fact that in a month's time it went from 4 million
To
over 20,
Mhm.
and 11 years later, those are old numbers. Those are old numbers. So who knows how many by now?
And that's the thing. A lot of people don't know that they've been hacked.
Yes. So what about you, Wes?
Well, I have to say, like, I don't remember exactly if I've applied through for jobs through OPM or USA Jobs, but it sounds like, I don't get any notifications. So I'm either very, very lucky or I'm not being told that my information is out there. So how actually, Michelle, let's get into that. How do you actually get notified?
So I was first notified that while I was serving our country, the data had leaked. Then,
so wait a minute. Because you're a veteran, you got information that I didn't. Really?
I'm only telling you facts of how I found out.
Yeah.
So, once OPM verified and found the leaks, they actually set up a lifetime
Like
monitoring.
Okay.
And so the company that usually gives me my alert is called opm.myidcare.com. And it's, if you go to that website, actually, you could input some of your information and it will then tell you whether or not you've been jeopardized.
Now I'm curious. Is that it's like specific to people that have applied to jobs through OPM, or
I would it they
I mean I'm gonna
I'm gonna look into
I'm
it.
gonna look into it because I don't think I'm that lucky.
So I don't know if it's exactly only OPM related, but even my email in the past, I mean, everyone has a yahoo.com account or has had one at some point. And one of my breaches were through yahoo.com. So, but when I say that, it's just that I use that account within my searching for employment. So
we're gonna, listeners, don't fret. We're gonna give you that information on that website again later on, just before we close, so that it stays fresh in your mind. But how about you, Oksana? Have you had any breaches?
I don't think so. I haven't. I applied to jobs.
She's the lucky one.
Yeah.
She's the lucky one. She hasn't applied.
But Ukrainians can install app on their phones, and in that app, they have access to their all information, all documents, like for passport, driver license, high school diploma, and they don't need to upload it individually. They can only scan chip on their ID card, and they can have access to all that data.
wow.
And it's one app,
Yeah, and
one scan, and everything is uploaded at once. So all sorts of personal sensitive information, your emails, your birthday, your social security numbers, your
wow.
driver's license. She said high school diploma.
Because I have only Ukrainian high school diploma, like people who graduate from universities, like they
that too.
That too.
Oh my gosh.
So that's okay. So to me, right? Okay, so that's you completely. One scan basically tracks your life into this one app. How vulnerable is that?
Yes. So
it's kind of scary, isn't
it? We're all flabbergasted right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure about security. Like it depends, but it is what it is.
Okay, so this is Ukraine, right? It's a small country on the other side of the world, but this 11-year-old breach that's still affecting members today, that could be affecting me, and I don't even know, is it's American. We're like a superpower supposedly, but we can't patch this breach 11 years later. So I would say, and I don't want to worry you, Oksana, but I would say that that one app in Ukraine might be compromised or easily compromised. But yeah, I mean, think about it, right? Like this is the world that we live in now, and right, it's only going to get more tech as the years roll by. So all right. Well, we're gonna try to wrap this up in a little bit, and like I said, we're going to mention to our listeners the
webpage.
one more time, the webpage.
So basically, the OPM cybersecurity breach serves as a reminder of the ongoing challenges in safeguarding sensitive government data against evolving cyber threats.
Continued efforts are essential to strengthen cybersecurity resilience and protect critical information access from unauthorized access.
So, guys, thank you for joining us. We appreciate our listeners. We're going to have to do another episode in the future on what, once we're going to dissect this a little bit more, and we're going to dive into what it is or how it is that these things need to get patched, because that's the field that we're in. Before we go, Michelle, please, one more time with the that monitoring website so that our listeners can go on there and see what if they're being compromised.
Absolutely, Wes. So that website is opm.mydcare.
Yes. So thank you for tuning into Unveiling the OPM Breach, a timeline of intrusion. Be sure to subscribe for future episodes and don't hesitate to reach out with any feedback or question. Stay safe online and until next time.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
All right, that's gonna put a bow on this episode. I hope you guys like that one. I really enjoyed that one. Thank you to Michelle, Wes, and Oksana. You guys did an absolutely banged up job on this one, and we appreciate it. Until next time. This has been a Little Cha-Cha Productions, art by Sarah, music by Joe Kim. If you want to reach me, you can email me at Professor JRod at gmail.com.